Hi everyone, welcome to the first FLIP staff meeting for our school year for October 2015. And this is a rainy day version of our FLIP staff meeting. It was very surprising to be called off school, but a very nice treat after a long open house. I hope all of you are staying safe and dry. Okay, here's the table of contents for our FLIP staff meeting so you know what's coming up. I'm going to tell you some kudos, talk about our SIP meeting, talk about our staff meeting, some of our learning labs, our upcoming professional development day, and of course some miscellaneous things that we need to discuss as well. Also a little growth mindset thrown in there. Okay, first of all, thank you so much just for being you. As you know, Ellie has moved into middle school, which is awesome. And as we went through the halls of middle school, and it was a great open house, and Ellie's loving school, but John kept repeating, this is not Shields, this is not Shields. And no place is. That's the thing. We are an amazing place, aka teaching and learning heaven, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Even though our turnout for open house wasn't great because of the rain, you all were awesome. Every classroom I walked in, parents were smiling and engaged, and you were at the front of a room where some of you aren't very comfortable in front of adults. You couldn't tell at all. So thank you for all your hard work and your dedication to our students and our parents. It was awesome. I also want to thank you. Last week, I think it was Tuesday, we had a lot of people out at EMTL and a couple people got sick at the last moment, and we were down 4 substitutes. But with the help of Mandy, always about 5 o'clock in the morning, and all of you, the paras, the teachers, your flexibility, we were able to figure out and cover for those 4 classes. No other place would have pitched in like that, and I feel very grateful. I was stressed, and in 10 minutes I wasn't anymore because I saw everybody else pitching in to help as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's an amazing place to be, and I really do love coming every day. Okay, last Monday we had a school improvement team meeting. I wasn't able to make it because of a walkthrough training that I went to that we'll talk a little bit about later. But the meeting focused on a couple things. First, Heidi had sent out an email to you all about some myths in PBS, and your team leaders will get those out to you. Yes, there definitely still are consequences for actions. Just because we're not displaying when students get in trouble publicly, they do need to have consequences. Also, second step, this is definitely a mandatory thing for bullying that we need to do in our school. So please make sure, one, find your kits if you haven't already, and make sure you're teaching this to all students. The next thing was Robin Wright. She's a parent here at Shields. She came to discuss possible fitness classes at Shields. So team leaders, please speak to your team members and find out if this is something you're interested in, and I will get back to her. Lori Rowe wants to kind of come up with a plan to make sure we use her at the elementary school. Lori is K through 12, and sometimes her duties can be spread thin. So I've charged you as a team with coming up with a goal for her for your team for the school year. It might be help implement iPads. It might be a professional development on your new Macs. It could be anything that you want. With the one-to-one initiative in 5th grade, I'm going to ask her to spend some time over there to make sure that we are using those to the fullest potential. We also started creating a parent involvement plan during SIT team meeting, and that will go out to you in a couple of weeks, probably closer to a month after our next SIT meeting, so we can get your input as well before it goes out to our parents and to our district office. And the last thing that they talked about was open house, which again went beautifully. Thank you. Okay, Monday is our staff meeting, but it's not going to be a staff meeting. There's going to be no whole group staff meeting. I'm going to give you that time, so right after school, as soon as you get everybody on the buses, 3:35 to 4:30 to meet as a team. We had our data days last week, which I felt went really well. But it has left us a little time to get RTI started. So RTI will start on Monday morning, and just for Tier 2 and Tier 3 pullouts, nothing else. But during that time, remember, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday would be differentiated reading activities, and Wednesday and Thursday would be differentiated math activities. So the people who are pulled are not missing core instruction. That's a kind of a big point. Take your time making your groups because I want them done well. 4th and 5th grade, once you have your STEAM groups made, I'd like to see them before they are final. And I'd like to talk with each team about how they are going to meet the needs of all students. Pretty exciting. So that day, just work on your grouping, see how far you can get, and in the next couple of weeks, we can start to move to learn during RTI. Okay, our learning labs this month. I wanted to kind of look at it as a whole and clarify a couple things first. So we had a couple people or a couple teams even kind of asking, we are required as a district and contractually to do 90 minutes of PLC a week. We've decided to call our PLC Learning Lab, and we've decided to be a little more flexible with our time. So we have the 45-minute piece, which for this month and a lot of the times we're going to focus on planning together. But you have your 30-minute a week PLC or learning lab, and then you have a 15-minute a week individual learning lab. And we have to hit these 90 minutes, but I'm trying to be flexible. So if I'm trying to be flexible, please try to work with us as well. I just wanted to clarify that. Our schedule, October 7th, every grade is going to meet with Kristen and or Aaron to plan the next lesson for the teacher timeouts. All grade levels will be doing this except for 2nd grade, who just completed their first cycle of teacher timeouts, and they're going to be debriefing about it. 5th grade has already completed a complete cycle and is starting to work on their second one. Kudos to 5th grade for that. October 14th, there are no learning labs due to conferences that week and professional development on Friday, which we'll talk about a little longer later on in this presentation. October 21st will be final goal setting with me. So by that time, and I'll communicate with you more prior to this, but by that time you need to start having your spreadsheets made of your students and all the screeners that they have taken so we can set our goals. And we'll do that as teams sort of together. And then October 28th will be our next planning learning lab for teacher timeouts. The teacher timeouts will be scheduled for October 9th following the October 7th planning, and then on October 29th following the October 28th planning. And in the corner here, Kristen has been working on a working definition of a learning lab. And here's our first draft. A learning lab is a collaborative space in which students and educators work together in crafting a purposeful activity around an instruction goal. Within the learning lab cycle, there are 4 distinct phases, which we've talked about in depth, which is that picture up there. And learning labs create a safe environment for both teachers and students to view one another as learners and provides a space to make our learning public. So that's a definition of our learning labs as we're going into the teacher timeouts. We're just trying to make it more inclusive to the rest of our learning labs where you're planning together and as we start to make some common formative assessments. Okay, right into our PD Day tentative schedule on October 16th. Now this could change. We are meeting as a chat team, which is the Cape Henlopen Action Team, where we're looking at our goals for the year. And that will determine definitely what we're doing. But what Aaron, Kristen, and I were thinking was that it's a team time to score assessments, plan lessons, and tweak groups for about an hour. And that's especially for the people who have had to do performance tasks and who may do the Smarter Balance assessment interim. It'll give you time to score that, but a lot of you have other things to score, writing pieces, and doing that together is so beneficial. An hour for learning labs where Kristen and Aaron will talk about what's going well, what we need to do differently, and kind of have a vertical articulation about learning labs and what's going on there. And then I'd also like to give you 90 minutes to work on the website to get that up and running. I'd like time myself to work on a Weebly site to attach to as my link as well. So those are what I'm thinking for that day. It could change if the district has some mandates for us. But right now, that's my idea. Okay, we have some miscellaneous things going on too, just a couple items that I wanted to check off the list. First is voicemail. Please set this up as soon as you can. I transferred a call down, I don't know, the other night, like at 5 o'clock, and the lady called me right back. It's not so and so. Another teacher answered. I'm like, yes, that teacher retired or wasn't in that room at last year. So please set that up because it confuses parents, and we want to make sure that we're accessible there. Mandy's your go-to girl, or Christy if you do not know how. The Cape Henlopen, the Cape Accelerated Program update. So far, so good. It's going well. Melissa's going to come around to each team to talk a little bit more about the program and also talk about K2 push-in with teachers. So we're excited about that. Kristen's adventure with the teaching channel is also very exciting. On November 9th, the teaching channel is going to be coming to film. So Kristen may be talking to you about filming in your classroom. So it'll be very exciting. I feel honored to have them there. And with that, just so you know, the Teacher of the Year dinner is October 20th to celebrate Kristen's District Teacher of the Year nod. So upcoming, we have a PBS meeting on October 12th. So go to your PBS reps if you have any questions, comments, or concerns going into that meeting. Our Heidi is going to present at the state level on the things that we're doing, which is amazing. And then also School Improvement Team is on October 19th. Very good. We are still working on our school success plan. We will try to finish that up on October 19th, give or take a month. And we are working on our Cape Henlopen Action Team goals in there as well. Secondly, walkthroughs are going to be different this year. So for the next month, my assignment, and I'm going to train Dave as well, is to just choose 2 teachers that are willing to work with me and go through this new type of walkthrough with them. So I'm kind of excited to try that out, and I may be contacting you to help me this next month. Very exciting. And observations have started, so we're going to do most that we can as announced. Unannounced. So we'll be popping in and checking out what you're doing, which is always amazing. Smarter scores are really good. I'm putting together a presentation now that they're all out to parents. Things are going well. The day we do goal setting, the 21st, I'll have a mini presentation on smarter scores that day for you as well. 4th and 5th grade teachers have been given scores in order to drive their instruction. As you know, a member from each of your team also goes to EMTL, the Elementary Math Teaching and Learning, ? And it's a great professional development that these teachers go to. The only issue was trying to kind of make it come back to school. Because Nancy Thornburg has retired, she's working with EMTL. So she is going to come in and work specifically with teachers who are doing this professional development. So the teacher at each grade level that's participating in EMTL, Nancy's going to come work with them a couple times a year with lessons and follow through from EMTL in order to help the rest of the team. Pretty exciting stuff. Okay, don't forget about academic implications as well as behavioral for mindset. This was one of my favorite posters from last year, and it talks about all the different things give frequent formative feedback to students, high levels of challenge for every student, explicitly welcome mistakes, which I'm seeing all the time, engage in deliberate practice, and reward effort, not attainment. Carol Dweck says the growth mindset is the belief that your basic qualities are things you cultivate through your efforts. I see this, I hear this, I'm breathing this in school every day, and it's absolutely amazing. Thinking about growth mindset, if you want to check out a couple Kid President videos, they're here on this slide as well. Okay. So I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen and watching this FLIP staff meeting. It will be on YouTube, but I will also have Candace and Jeannie get it on the website as soon as possible. Take care and have a great evening. Thank you.